In a minute. Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order, and please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call. Ike White.
Yeah. Here.
Brooks McGugan.
Here.
Terry Lynn Dunhart. Here. Bob Wright.
Here.
Leroy Blake.
Here.
Jackie Stanley.
Here.
Steve Rolando. Bill Tremaine. Deb Lehman here. Thank you. Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the November meeting. Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the minutes have passed. Do we have any public comments? Okay, clipping right along. Chief's report.
Good evening. Happy Monday. I first wanted to start as we head into the holiday season to wish you and your families happy holidays, and hopefully the weather kind of stays this warm, although it looks like it's getting a little cooler. We haven't had some real Christmas weather there last week, which also brought several issues that popped up for us, but we'll start with good news. We'll morph a little into some other stuff, and then we'll come back to some good news today as well too. Okay, fair enough. A couple things first. In this year's budget, we had a one-time capital for 125 sets of PPE. This was to allow our members to get all new PPE, coat and pants as well too. And most of those sets have come in as well. So we've issued a lot of those sets out to most of our personnel already, which will allow them to have 2 sets of gear. Why that's really, really important is when we talk about initiatives that we're undertaking to reduce cancer risk and future cancer risk, it's really, really important for those members to have 2 sets of gear as well too. So that investment has arrived and they are starting to deploy it in the field. So you'll see the St. John's personnel wearing some new black turnout gear as well too. So thank you for that. And our personnel, I've only received positive feedback so far from the new gear. So very, very important, very much appreciated. A couple of things we've got going on as well too, particularly things headed up by our assistant fire chiefs as well. Big part of our strategic plan was really our employee engagement and how we actively have our employees invested in our district and help us make decisions as well too. So a couple different committees that have been formed that are off and running as well too, which have been positive so far. One is health and safety committee. Another one is a training advisory committee. So it's a large group of our personnel that are assisting us and pointing us in the future of what we need to do from a training perspective as well too, and giving feedback on what works and what doesn't work as well. The other one is apparatus and equipment. We've officially formed that committee with more personnel. Really right now they're looking at some of our equipment needs heading into next budget year and in the future as well. And then also we've had some pretty frank discussions on our needs for apparatus and reserve fleet and things as well too, as the industry, we're seeing, I think we inquired about ladder truck and it's 48 months from if we ordered one today. So things we need to keep into consideration for the future as we start kind of developing plans for the future as well too. So we've been working on kind of the restructuring of our pay plan that we've sent a bunch of data to the consultant over the last month as well too. They're starting to be getting some work and framework on that. And I expect after the first of the year, we'll probably have some more concrete things come in so we can start organizing that for the next fiscal year as well too. We've got some internal, including Teresa, and we've got a couple other internal members assisting with us as well. So that makes sense for everybody. And we can discuss what the fiscal impact of that is and kind of go from there. So that's just in process. We'll talk some finance things today, but we'll start our mid-year review. Really kind of, we already have started that, but we'll really start earnestly in January to look at where we are for mid-year. We'll talk a little bit more about that in Danielle's section and at the end of my report here as well too. Okay, next thing up, I'm going to have Chief Flanagan pull up a video for us. I'm going to have Chief Yunker come up. So Chief Yunker is the Assistant Chief over Professional Standards and Training. So I think last month I mentioned we've been doing a fall classic. What we wanted to do was have an important training ground evolution, but also make it competition based as well too. And I'll have Brian kind of tell you a little bit about that and describe the evolution that you'll see in the video.
So for the past 6 months, we've been evaluating our personnel in the field, trying to identify areas that we need to improve or enhance our capabilities. So we designed a programmed evolution, and by programmed, they're given the scenario. So there are no real variables. It's really to show or demonstrate their competencies related to their job performance. So each position, firefighter, engineer, and captain have to function appropriately and complete their task effectively to have an overall successful crew performance. So we put together some clips here, basically condensed it, and you'll see what we're trying to put together. It's a multi-level building, very similar to what you see now on Kiowa Seabrook, that your entrance is actually on the second floor. And so that's something that our personnel have to learn how to navigate or become more proficient at. We're getting away from, single level ranch style homes. Everything's elevated with the floodplain. And this is trying to test that capability here. It allows us to assess some of our equipment and bring that back to Chief Prowse and the evaluation of what we're doing in the field and identify future training as we go forward. So a lot of good stuff we've seen here. This is really a testament to all of the hard work that our personnel have been doing out in the field in preparation for this and preparing to mitigate, incidents as they come. So this gives you a good idea of what they're doing.
Good. Thank you, Brian. I think I got the volume right. So this should not blast your ears. I think. We'll find out here. It's not too bad. Might be able to see it better on the TVs. Good. Thank you. So, we wanted to also incentivize the work as well too. So what you saw there, the group that the trio that was the fastest time was engine 704 C shift. We did this over a company as well too. So ladder 702, which is also on Kiowa, was the champion for all three of their shifts put together as well. So they're going to have a custom logo created for them as well too. So we can go out to the training ground every single day, and sometimes we can go through the motions, but sometimes incentivizing it gives those people just a little bit extra to really show off. So great job by those crews. Great job by Chief Yunker, Chief Flanagan. Chief McCullough has been helping with that as well too. Our training department is excellent. They need more support as well too, and we'll talk about that in the future. But they do a great job. So we're pushing our people to do more and do better as well too. So they're doing a good job at that. Same thing too this month. They fall right from Fall Classic right into live fire burns. So we've got live burns going on this month as well too, down at the Performance Center as well. EMT class and advanced EMT class are all ongoing as well too. Our staff are also completing their annual appraisals and our essential personnel. So those are coming around, talking with our employees, what they're doing good, what they can improve on, going from there. We do have, if you see in the corner over there, there's a whole bunch of TVs. We have, they're over in the back corner over there. Each of our stations is going to get a TV mounted in an area. What we've invested in is it's called first arriving dashboards. So what these dashboards give you, essentially we can control them here from headquarters, but when it's a TV dedicated to not TV, they won't be able to watch TV on it. We have plenty of those already, but it'll have CAD information. So as soon as a call drops, the screen will populate with all the CAD information, maps. It does weather. We can put any message up there we want. So whether it's, here who needs to complete training on this day, here's what's, you guys all need to be here by 2 p.m. We can do our future schedule baked into that as well too. It works with probably 150 different programs, some of them that we use, some of them that we'll never use, but it's really another communication piece for us. We talk about that in our strategic plan of how we better communicate with all of our employees as well too. And this is another function. So what I've learned in my time, good or bad, about 75% of our employees check their email. So I say that kind of jokingly, but that's kind of the truth. So we also want to find other ways that we can get them the information fast as well too. So we're doing that. Also wanted to give my administrative staff some kudos as well too. We had our holiday party last night. Some of our commissioners were in attendance. Thank you so much. It was luckily nice weather. The food was good. We had a large turnout. I think we had signed up about with significant others about 100 people. I'd say about 90 people were there when I counted. So we had a great turnout. The shift that was on yesterday had lunch with had delivered Martin's Barbecue on James Island. So they were, even though they couldn't attend, they had a lunch, catered lunch as well too. And we'll look at dates for next year to see how the shift schedule falls so that every shift, gets a chance to participate on as well too. Okay, I think that's what I have before I get into kind of a larger discussion, but Chief Prowse, if you could go over just real quickly the statistics from last month. So,
hey, good evening. So our statistics for the month of November ran a total of 345 incidents, and that breaks out to 197 of those on Johns Island, 69 on Kiowa, 48 on Seabrook, and then 31 on Wadmalaw. Any questions? We didn't have any big incidents of significance, but if there's anything that sticks out, I can field any questions.
Ms. Teresa, would you give an HR update, please?
Thank you. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Our jobs are all full, so I'm done. We did. We're lucky. We've now filled all the jobs. So we paramedics, we have 2 more starting January 6th. So all 3 will be filled when they arrive. We offered and got accepted the new diesel mechanic over, yay is right, to work with Jason over there and Mo. A staff accountant, please meet Brittany George, who's here tonight. That's you. They heard about you last time, but you're here now. So she's actually just started today. We're very excited. So Danielle's working with her, of course. And last time we mentioned accreditation specialist is Stephanie got promoted full-time and is now working full-time. So we really don't have any of these positions open. We're really happy to see that. And now working on other things, moving on to insurance and all kinds of year-end things. And my daughter's having a baby in 2 weeks. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Teresa. Last thing I've got, and this will kind of blend into the financial report as well too. So I guess I'll ask Danielle to come up now, but we're on track for our budget. She'll go over that as well. But it's been the last couple of months have been difficult from a perspective with our apparatus and our stations as well too. We've had some pretty large expenditures over the last really this fiscal year and the last couple of months particularly as well too. You know, I think I'm looking at the thermostat back there. You can tell it says 74 degrees. Also, I think Miss Teresa turned into a snowman last week in here. So we've had some HVAC issues in this building as well too. Station 6, which we did a pretty significant fix earlier in this fiscal year, had more additional problems as well too that gave a detailed report to the chair and vice chair as well too on the issue there. It had to do with some copper lines and things like that as well. Side note, Station 6, you know, we've talked about this, I think, ad nauseum a bit, but some issues we've had with construction during construction at Station 6. So we're going to continue to see kind of massive issues there that we're going to have to continue to fix as well too. So when we move forward from a fiscal perspective, year to year, we're going to have to really look at Station 6 and budget that effectively as well too. Station 2, parts to fix their generator, that was about $6,600. That Station 6, the most recent HVAC one, was about a little over $5,000. Engine 702, we had to put a new steering shaft in, that was $6,200. Engine 1 had a harness issue, that was about $2,500. Station 3 has a pretty significant roof leak, that's about $8,000 to repair that, and that was just in the last month and a half. So when you look at our budget, we are on track. We're at 58% as well too, but there's two big things hitting us. You'll see equipment maintenance and facilities maintenance are hovering right around 40% as well too. We had a budget excursion this morning where we just talked with our spenders about the next couple months and making sure we're diligent about purchases that we're making to kind of equal us out a little bit there. Of course, our stations and our apparatus outside of our people are the most important things, and having those in working condition. So we're not in any way skimping on repairs to our apparatus or our stations in any way, but we just have to be a little bit more responsible on the wants versus needs as well too. So we're working through that. And the other big driver for us where we're behind, not quite as bad as last year, but non-standard overtime again is in not great shape as well too. So when mid-year, what we'll do with the finance committee is have a mid-year budget review probably after the 1st of January. It's due to the county usually by the end of January, and we'll talk about some of those things and how we'll make those ends meet a little bit. Saying all that, you do have something on your agenda item for later, and I can kind of address that as well too, because we're not in any means in a critical means with our budget. We're right on track, but I do think there's kind of a parallel there when we get to that item. I'll kind of get to that a little bit more. So, okay, I think I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got any questions for Danielle can kind of take you through the rest of that report. So before Danielle starts, any other questions for me? Sorry. Danielle, thank you.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Like Chief said, our budget remaining goal is 58.34%, and we are currently trending at 58.04%. Our bank balances as of November 30th include our operating account at around $6 million, our LGIP account around $13,000, the 2021 Go Bond account at $83, the 2022 Go Bond account at around $26,000, the 2023 Go Bond account at around $414,000, and our 2024 Go Bond account at around $16.9 million. In November, our collections included retiree reimbursements and $7,000 that we received for selling a truck on GovDeals. Our October collections that we received from the county was around $1.4 million, and non-standard overtime for November was around $102,000, which is higher than previous months. Looking at the dashboard for the month of November, our operating expenditures year to date is at $8.6 million, which also includes encumbrances. And our base pay for November was around 84%. Any questions?
I don't have a question. I have a comment after he rattled off all those expenses. I just want to remind everyone before we go any further that we have a very healthy fund balance. And if you look at our policy for the fund balance, we're way above what our recommendation is. So that's the good news. So I just wanted to share that before we go any further.
Yes.
Mm.
I'll have more to say in new business.
Okay.
The retiree reimbursement.
So we pay the health insurance for retirees if they elect it, and then they pay us back.
So we front, essentially we front. So they have an electable plan. So they can elect if they want to do the healthcare portion, the vision, or just dental, they can elect what they want. So because that bill comes due every month, we pay that up front, and then we get the retiree employees come back and reimburse us. So they get invoiced for it. So yeah. It's pretty compliant. They usually reimburse us, so not they lose their insurance. So
Well, and they're getting group rates, which are a lot better than individual rates.
Yeah.
So it's a good deal. Okay. Attorney's update.
Thank you so much. Really not a lot to report from last month. The attorney representing St. John's Water is out of the office with a family emergency, so really no progress there on that settlement. Their board has signed off on the settlement number we discussed in executive session, but no progress with the agreement or anything. I anticipate I'll be back to you with that in January.
Thank you. Any unfinished or old business? Okay, new business. The first item is the employee holiday bonus, and that's why I made a comment about the fund balance before we got there. So
why don't you start, and then I'll before the vote, I'll chime in with a couple things.
Do award $500 net bonus, employee holiday bonus to district-wide for a total of $76,124.55 to the budget.
and that's the grossed up amount, the total.
Total.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so before you vote on that, let me I'll explain a couple things budget wise as well too, because I just said we're right at 58% where we should be as well too. If you look at in your budget report documents, there's I think page 2. It says page 2 of 12, but it's a budget report, and it starts there's an area that says expense, and then it says object 4110 on that as well too. If anybody, it's kind of that second sheet that looks like this. With all the lines on them as well too. So if you look on that, those are all of our salaries and wages, just from a salary and wage perspective as well too. So you can see district wide for all of our employees, we budgeted 10,640,000 numbers as well too. So if you look at that, we're trending at 63% in our almost 64% in our salaries as well too. So the total number for that was a little over for this bonus was a little over $76,000. Out of that total salaries, it's about a half percent in total. So I just wanted to arm you with that information because I didn't want to alarm saying we've got all these expenditures that we weren't anticipating that were high, and we didn't have money to support this. I feel like from our salaries perspective, we're trending really, really well. The number you'll see one there that's like 63.91%. That's those are salaries for our operations personnel. So we're trending really, really well there because we do have a couple openings at captain and engineer that we're filling here soon. So, I say that just as we're on track for that. And when Commissioner Rolando asked me about it, we crunched some numbers, and we don't feel like that's going to be a huge impact to our budget. So just want to be transparent about that. Motion's been made.
Okay. I second the motion. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion passes. So that's a $500 net that'll be grossed up.
That will drop on the payday this Friday, actually. They process payroll Wednesday. So I speak on behalf of our employees to say thank you for that. It is much appreciated, particularly in the holiday season as well too. And thank you.
Okay, The next new business item is election of the commission. This will be for both chair and co-chair beginning in January. So Spencer, do you want to take that?
Happy to. Thank you so much. Well, I guess we'll jump right into it, but my understanding is at this time, I'll call for nominations for the chair position. If anyone has any nominations, please speak now.
Nominated Deborah.
Second.
I've got one nomination for Ms. Lehman. Any other nominations? All right, we'll close the nominations. Each of you have a ballot in front of you. If you'll, I know that in the past we've done it by acclamation, but I'm going to tell you that it's my opinion, you need to write this down. So if each of you could please write your vote down for that, and I'll collect those at the end of all this. Then we'll have it officially. Okay, I will come around and collect those if everyone's done. Spent a good bit of time in Robert's Rule of the Board prior to this, and I do think there has to be a ballot on this one, so thank you guys for indulging me. Confirm that our new chair will be Miss Deborah Lehman, so congratulations.
Thank you.
I will preserve all of this for the record, I
Record.
suppose. But at this time, we'll open the floor to nominations for vice chair or deputy. How is that? Vice?
Vice chair.
Okay, for vice chair.
And I second.
Second.
Any other nominations? All right, we'll close those, and I'm sorry, but I'll ask you to vote one more time.
Yes, and I forgot to mention that there's cards.
Oh, do you have
They're
enough?
good. Yeah, they got
Okay.
the
Excellent.
assumed. You can do it.
Just wait until she officially.
And I can officially confirm that Mr. Ike White will be our vice chair. So congratulations. I think with that, the elections are.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, committee reports, building committee.
Since Chairman Tomei, Bill is not here, I will do the building committee meeting. There was a meeting on November 22nd, the building committee meeting. I had 4 presentations from local architects for our Station 5 project. Out of that, the group had decided on Leolio Architects to do that project. Currently, LCK or David Myers, our consultant, is in negotiating their fee right now. So we would anticipate coming back likely in January for you to approve a fee related to that as well. I also discussed the commission, and I think if Chief Flanagan, I had the county GIS on that one tab. If you could bring that up for me. I discussed at the building committee meeting, we have a pretty good piece of property at Station 5. The yellow boundary there is our property. As you can see that there's property completely surrounds us as well too. I approached the committee about the possibility of purchasing part of that property next to us where you see kind of the field has already been cleared out as well too. So we approached the owners of that property. They're interested in selling part of it to us. I Last correspondence I had was for them to select an appraiser so that we could have a piece of that property appraised. If we move that, our property line and it went straight across, you kind of see that dirt road on the right side of the screen or north side there as well too. It's about 3 acres right there as well. Why I brought that to the building committee is we have a good site. We also want to keep that fire station in order, but we really want to make a complete training grounds as well too. What you don't see, there's obviously lots of trees in the back of our property there, but there's also basically a creek culvert that runs back there. It's part of the drainage as well too, which has some impacts on the civil site of it as well. So as you can see, it's already a nicely cleared out lot as well too. Gives us plenty of room there to build a fire station, the training grounds we really want, and then also some room for future growth as well too, if we ever need more facilities. So I have not heard back from the owners on that. I tried calling today again, but got a voicemail. So I think, and Spencer, correct me if I'm wrong, do I need something that allows me to negotiate with the owner or just bring that back?
I think at this point, it would be appropriate to identify the appraiser first.
Okay.
I don't know. We'd have to get the amount of the fee from the
Sure.
appraiser. If it's within what you
Makes
can
sense.
do on your own, I think it'd be appropriate to just get an appraisal. Frankly, I don't know what the budgetary level is. I should know that, but I don't yet.
I think an
But
appraisal is too much. but-
an appraisal is not very
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah.
And so I think you can start with an appraisal and then move forward with both the building and the finance committee as to that.
Okay, sounds good. So just wanted to give you an update on that, that we're trying to pursue that. The building committee was in agreement, but I'm happy to discuss it more if anybody would like to. Last thing I have is the RFQ for the architecture firm for Kiowa River Fire Station. We don't, I don't think we have an update on the actual lease itself, but that RFQ for the actual architecture will go out in early January. And then we'll kind of repeat the process as well too, like we did for Station 5. So that's the building committee.
Okay, thank you. We did not have a finance committee meeting last month, but when the midterm information is available, then we'll schedule a finance meeting to go over that. So that'll be probably late January. Okay, human resource.
We're not having a meeting. We will have to do the first quarter next year.
Okay, thank you. Strategic planning.
Yes, we do not have a meeting, but it's for.
Okay, thank you. Okay, public or firefighter comments? Commissioner comments. Ike, we'll start with you.
Well, green is to get it just right, to be advanced. So I think it's a really good idea. The guy, keep pushing it, you just gonna work on it. For the rest of the department, just want to see at the end that I really appreciate what you all are doing here in our district. I just want you to be safe during the holiday and let your family know we care about them too. Thank you.
Brooks.
Concur with what Ike's going to say. Prior to coming up here, I was speaking with Councilman Boykin, who has assured us that we have his full undivided support. So he thinks we're doing a good job. He's getting good feedback from the community about the professionalism, and he just wanted to say good job.
Thank you.
So, thanks.
Terry Lynn.
I'd like to say congratulations to Brittany and Stephanie. Welcome aboard. You stay safe as well as congratulations, Chief Yunker and your team for the awesome training that has gone forth. And you stay safe as well. And everyone, happy holidays.
Thank you. Bob.
Just wish everybody a Merry Christmas. The performance of the department continues to be outstanding. Last month I had a medical emergency in the house and called 911. They were there. And that was important. And it wasn't a major issue, actually. Also welcome the new hires. Keep up the good work. How did you get 2 additional paramedics so quickly? Good job. Good job.
We, we did after the first round, we did a little bit of a adjustment based on market needs for those positions as well too. So we have, again, that's supported by QSA tax money as well too. So we could be a little bit more aggressive with salary for those employees as well too. The goal is expanding that program in the future. I think that's something we'll consider as I'll have you consider as a commission, is expanding those positions as well too. But there's a nationwide shortage for paramedics. It's not just here, it's everywhere across. So we had to be competitive with salary, and that brought in additional applicants. So, but thank you.
Will the idea, we'll have 1 paramedic per shift?
So they do right now. Yes. When the next 2 come on, we'll have 1 per shift. So they'll work a shift schedule as well, 24/7, 365.
Leroy?
Okay, we'll make this very brief. Ditto to everything everyone else has said. Want to wish everyone a marvelous and happy holiday season. Please, please, please drive safely and drive like your lives depend on it, because it does. Not because of your bad driving, but because of Leroy and his inappropriate driving. So please be careful. Thank you.
Jackie?
I'd like to welcome the new staff personnel. So everything is running pretty smooth. That's very good. And to the personnel, keep up the good work and happy holidays.
Steve?
Ditto, everyone said. Have a happy holiday season. Thanks to everyone with the jobs you perform for the district. Thank you.
Stephanie, congratulations on coming on full time, and Brittany, welcome. It's a great place to work. So we appreciate all the positions being filled. I really enjoyed the training video too. It was nice to see that. I don't know if you'll do any in the future, but for us commissioners, especially me, that I'm not a firefighter, retired firefighter, that was very interesting to watch. So thank you. And I just want to wish you all a happy holiday. And I was counting on Leroy to tell you how safely you should drive. So I ditto that, because these roads around here can be pretty scary. Okay, if I understand correctly from Chief and Spencer, I understand that we do not have to go to executive session. Am I correct?
No.
What a shame. Okay, then I'd like to make a motion for the meeting to be adjourned. Do I have a second?
Deb?
Oh,
before
go
we
ahead.
Close.
Go ahead, Bob.
I talked to Chief about it. I have a big Bernese Mountain Dog, loves people. We visited with the team from Station 2. It went off really well. And I asked Chief whether it would be appropriate to have both of us to visit other stations, just morale booster, break the monotony if there is any. So we'll be doing that.
Jeez. Sounds like you need to come to headquarters too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Okay.
Yeah, I'd hit all the buildings. Okay, I had a second. So all those in favor for adjournment, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a happy holiday.
You said